On and Sport Shoes Lightning 5K. Elite men are off and away. The lights flash as those on singlets pound into the distance. Here we are in lead men here tonight. Jack Kavanagh, Joe Wigfield, Callum Johnson is in here as well. He's an on athlete and it'd be great to see him. We know how good he is over the country. He had a great track season as well. A lot of these men setting their lifetime bests over 5,000 on the track in Battersea Park earlier on in the year. What was that? May now, end of May. And so a lot of them coming back here. Angus Mcmillan is another man to look out for. He's broken 14 minutes. Kavanagh would be the heavy favourite for me, but Wigfield is definitely another man to look out for. Wigfield ran 29.20 round Battersea Park, just what, last week or so now. He won one of those run-through events. Bleep that out, commentators. However, looking very fast. And I spoke to Danby prior to this race and sort of said, how's the boy feeling? Is he going to go for a course record? Danby decided, nope, it's too wet, it's too cold for a course record tonight. Kavanagh's had a long season and he just wants a good run out. However, he's laid a marker down early for Wigfield and he doesn't want Wigfield drafting off him. I think that's what's happening here. And he's decided he's going to try and go this one alone. So Kavanagh leads, Wigfield in second. We know how strong Wigfield is, over 5,000 as well. And actually on lifetime best, these two men are very evenly matched. It is only when it comes to the championship scenario that Kavanagh is in a league of his own. Second place at the British Championships over the 5,000 this summer, only behind Josh Kerr. So, in his typical slight lean flowing form, Kavanagh leads Wigfield into the first bend here at Battersea Parks. Little wet on the ground, little slippy. There's a few leaves lying as well in these autumn conditions. But Joe Wigfield, 5 yards behind Kavanagh, who leads early, and we'll get a clock on these early few kilometre splits. Couple others in there looking out for John Beattie. And I mentioned I can't see Johnson in there at the moment. I'll have a glance back. But this is a big lead, and we know, we saw him here before. He won in February as well, Kavanagh, in a similar battle, just like this. And on that occasion, it was well under 14 minutes, and these are two men who can do that. And I was surprised to see both their names on the start list tonight. Well, not surprised. It's a fantastic event. It's backed by On. There's big prize money on offer. However, both of them have had a pretty relentless season, to say the least. And they both got after it. They've done many, many races. And you just begin to wonder, when do these guys rest? Do they ever take time off? Clearly not. And they're out here, and they are hammering. There's a bunch of guys who are on the cusp of 14, in around that 14:10 mark, who are way back. And we are through that first kilometre as we swiftly approach that 2 kilometre mark. Now, Wigfield, 10 yards back, is getting no benefit from being there. But in order for him to close that gap onto Kavanagh, he'd have to really squeeze things for 400 metres or so. And is it worth it for him at this early stage in the race? That's what will be going through his mind. And also, you know, he's a man who, he does like to race pretty hard on the roads early season, especially in the autumn. And I think Wigfield's a man who's shown his cross-country pedigree as well. He'll be eyeing up that Liverpool team, which also has that extra ticket to run for this winter with the World Cross Country Championships in January. I wonder if we'll see Kavanagh on the mud as well. However, Kavanagh and Wigfield 1-2 going into the distance. Here's John Beattie, Angus Mcmillan, Miles Clisham in there as well. These guys are all low 14-minute runners. And they too are absolutely hammering tonight. We're not messing around. Conditions are good. Hey, look, we saw what Holly Parker was able to do in the women's race. Obliterate her PB, surprisingly. And didn't know quite what to expect, but the conditions allowed her to break 16 minutes. We had a couple under that mark, not a million miles off the course record. And these men, this bold move from Kavanagh and Wigfield, I wonder if it will backfire. These men are slowly just holding that gap. I don't think they're closing, but they're holding. And I just wonder if through that busier part of the course, when Kavanagh lets up on the gas a little bit, I wonder if they're going to be able to just get back on terms at any point. I wouldn't back him in a sprint finish, not against those two. But it's going to keep their foot on the gas. The fact that they can maintain contact with the leaders, they can see them, that's the important part. So Beattie into his late 30s now, but still running as good as he ever has. And Mcmillan getting back to his best as well. Those two heading on singlets. Clisham wearing the Coventry kit. 2 kilometres about to be hit. And through they go. We'll now keep an eye on that next split, that 3 kilometre mark. So I can say Kavanagh and Wigfield are side by side now. Wigfield is in his slipstream, he's on his shoulder. As nothing is changing in this chase group, they're going to have to work together. They're going to have to force things along. As soon as Clisham comes off the gas, they're going to have to work together. Jack Woods is another man who's worth talking about. Recently joined Neil Danby. Did Woods. And he's going to have a training partner in Kavanagh all through the winter. And that group at Holland Sports is going from strength to strength. That's what happens when you get someone on the podium at the British Championships. People start to take notice. Danby on the sideline, he would have witnessed Kavanagh and Wigfield be neck and neck. And he's just sharing a few words to Woods there. I think get up there. After the bandstand, we'll go by. Yeah. So the pair of them are neck and neck. We check back behind, it's still Clisham. Beattie, Mcmillan, they're the three. They're the three who look eager to get the work done at this stage. The other two, Woods, just playing the canny game, just holding on. The business end of the 5,000 coming. This is where you start to see those who are going to have what it takes to come out on top out of this group and perhaps, depending on the time, hunt down that sub 14-minute 5K. The pair of them two, we go under the tunnel of lights here at the Lightning 5K, sponsored by On. The reason it's called the Lightning 5K, that is what On referred to their innovation team as, the Lightning team, who go design all those trainers that have been so popular on the domestic scene and global scene, quite frankly. And now they're seen on the feet of the two men up front in this race. We'll keep an eye on this 3 kilometre split. What was their latest K? Kavanagh and Wigfield, toe for toe. Wigfield doing what every track runner would in this situation, and that's sit behind. Unfair not to call Kavanagh a track runner. He's the English champion over 5,000. But I think I'm referring to the fact Wigfield has extreme pedigree over the 1,500 with a time of 3:36 and an 800-metre lifetime best of 1:46. There's not many. 8:24 at 3,000. I had this kilometre in around about 2:45. So these men are turning the screw. They did slow. I thought the others were able to get a measure on them on the back straight there. And they weren't pulling away at all, but now they really are. Look at them, and they're in sync. They'll be feeding off one another at this stage. They'll be keying into each other's stride as they weave through some of the locals who will blink and miss them. Joe Wigfield and Jack Kavanagh, two of Britain's best on the roads and on the track, gracing Battersea Park. And I don't think we've seen a head-to-head like this before, not at these Friday night under lights. Two men side by side into the final 2 kilometres, approaching the final mile. We're not used to this. We've seen large packs of men. We've seen runaway victories, but a head-to-head duel like this, chopping and changing. It's a game of chess up at the front, and Wigfield makes his move. Kavanagh now, that gap just opening, will sit in behind. It was the patient approach which won him that silver medal at the British Championships 5K. Wigfield has shown clear signs of strength already. Last week or so, 29:20 over 10,000. Referred to that as a mere tempo. Kavanagh negotiating. A leaf or two on the floor, and this is what the park will throw at you, especially in these autumn conditions. We've had rain in the air all day. Luckily, it stopped for the race. And now Wigfield is going to pounce on that. He would have heard that. Kavanagh will stick at his task. He's won 6 races this year, and one of them the English Championships. He's a serial winner. But on this occasion, on this day, Joe Wigfield is playing his hand out, and he looks the stronger of the two as they approach what is going to be the final kilometre. And in moments like this, there's no one stronger for me. Wigfield thrives in situations where he's front running and he's taking a race on. We saw him do it in the summer over 1500. When he's at the head of the field, this man just grows and grows in confidence, and he's hard to beat. And this gap now to Kavanagh is 20, 30 metres. As Wigfield will see that 4 kilometres and know he's got a track rep to go. And that was another very impressive 2:45 or so kilometre for Wigfield. That's if we can trust Ben and Keith's kilometre markings here in Battersea Park. Maybe take it with a pinch of salt. But boy, is he looking smooth. And you're not going to drop the silver medalist over the 5,000 on the track if you're not squeezing. The Joe Wigfield, the man from the north, from Wirral AC, has done most of his training over recent years in and around Teddington, studying at St Mary's University. Coach Craig Wimrow has done a fine job with this man. He would have been disappointed not to make that British Championship 1500 metre final. And one of Wigfield's biggest problems is deciding what event he wants to do. He is so good at so many events. There's not many who can run 146 and in the 1330s. This man can. And he is running his way to 800 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to win the Lightning 5K. I can say that with confidence now, as Kavanagh hasn't rounded the corner just yet. It's a long, sweeping bend here in Battersea Park. You can take the camber. It will remind him of an indoor track. As he gaps Jack Kavanagh, who we must say did have a little bit of a skid to fall. Didn't hit the deck, managed to stay on 2 feet, but it cost him. And now Wigfield will enjoy this. It's job done for him as he approaches the final 300 metres. He knows Kavanagh will have a close. He's got a race for the clock now. His last 2 kilometres have been just outside 5:30. He's been absolutely hammering. Can we talk about the course record? Can we talk about 13:36 of Jack Rowe? It was the very first 5K we had here in Battersea Park. It hasn't been touched since. Well, Danby appreciates what he's seen on the sidelines, claps Wigfield through as he waits for his man, Kavanagh, to come round, who sits in second, who won this event in February, and he's not going to do it tonight. And the way Wigfield is moving, he is going to be one of the favourites coming into the winter, over the road, mud, whatever the distance, whatever the terrain. This man can run, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye on the clock then. We are looking at 13 in a bit minutes. Is he going to break 14? We're going to be just under 14 minutes. It's been a massive close from Wigfield, 13:55. And Kavanagh's going to come through unchallenged for second. With the slight slip, he's going to be just outside 14 with an aggressive first kilometre or so from Kavanagh. Mcmillan's going to take third. That will give him confidence heading into the winter. And the rest of them are going to be just 14, 15 and just outside.